technical difficulty. There we go. You're expecting this.
That's it. Oh no, I've got 9 minutes 16 seconds, which is going to take me to get through this. Oh right, yeah, I've got to turn this on.
No, it's on.
It's talking.
Oh right, yeah, sorry. Woo. I was a teacher for many years, and I never needed one of these things because my oh no, shut up, because I digress. Right. Now, first of all, we've been round to all these tables, and I know there's people from Koran, Osaka, the Foster Wheelers Group, Karamanico, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember all the others. But basically, thank you so much all for coming. It means so much to Amy's mum and I that you're all here to celebrate and have this joyous celebration of these two wonderful people in front of us. Clap, clap, clap. Okay, then I say, right, you've come from many different places today, and some of you at a moment's notice. I know that you've changed plans, and I could go all the way through the alphabet of the places you've come from. I've started in Austria. Someone here from Austria flew in this morning. Clap, clap, clap. And I know I can go through the other bits of I could go to B, there's people from Bournemouth, I know there's people from Cranbourne, but I'm going to miss out some of the letters. I know there's a guy who's come from Kansas to be here, so where is he? Hi y'all. Right, sorry if the accent's not that good, but there you go. We've got someone come from Hong Kong to be here as well. Graham's grandmother. You're welcome, very welcome, and I'm going to translate this into Chinese for you so that Lily can take it back, etc. Then I go through the rest of the alphabet, blah, 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 blah. Where have I missed out? Nowhere yet. Yeah, I've done Kansas. And, of course, New Zealand, right? So, whoa. All that way, changing all the plans at such short notice to be here, travelling halfway around the world. And really, one of the great things about New Zealand, you can travel in any direction from there, and it's halfway around the world. So fantastic. Right. Okay, blah, blah, blah. By knowing them directly or indirectly, every one of you here has got their part, that you've contributed to the life, the joy, the happiness that both these young people feel. I can say young because if you're under 60, you're young to me. I'm of an age where I'm not just very old, I'm very old. Okay, so thank you very much for that. And I'd also like to mention our youngest guest. I understand Nora's with us today. So a round of applause for Nora. I hope you're enjoying yourself as well. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, now, as you can imagine, I start now coming on the more difficult part, and, here we go. I'm Amy's dad, and I will do my best to keep this speech short. It's going to go over the 9 minutes, 26 seconds now, by the way. I'm going to try and keep it memorable and short, so you'll go away, and maybe you can enjoy this wedding, of course. The wedding celebrations, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then, right, what I'm going to want you to do now is to probably just have your last slurp of wine, if you'd like to do that, sit comfortably and fall asleep. Oh no, listen, that's the idea. Okay, so, I'm Pete. You can call me Pete. When people fall out with me, I'm in their bad books, Pete becomes Peter, so there we are, that's Peter. Amy, from the first moment, that came into the world, So much joy and happiness. Her laughter, her smile and her infectiousness has brought so much joy and happiness for her mum and me. We've had the sheer delight of watching her grow up into the remarkable woman she is today. Although when she was born, I thought it was a boy, and I shouted out, "It's a boy! It's a boy!" Oh dear, the umbilical cord. We have witnessed her grow up to the woman she is today, from her first nappy change, her first school day, her days of tumble tots, learning to swim, learning the violin and piano, hence the music that you've heard just now, a remarkable piece of music, particularly when played on the trampoline. No, sorry, that was in the next. Well, it would be if you played on the trampoline, but that's the next part of the speech. Trampolining, horse riding, skiing, scuba diving, driving lessons and more. Not forgetting the London Marathon of, 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, taking part in the London. What a day. I mean, the whole process of bringing up Amy and see her growing into the woman she is today, is that it's been exceptional to see her follow these activities and achieve her best, and for her mum and I to give her sincere and honest support with all those endeavours. Well, all right, listening to a 7-year-old, 7, and she's playing the violin, and you hear Dancing Queen played by a 7-year-old. I'm sure you may have played the violin yourself at the age of 7, or as a parent, you've witnessed it. And when that person says to you, "Daddy, do you like my version of Dancing Queen?" You say, "Of course I do, darling. It's so lovely." You didn't know that, did you? No, it was lovely. Of course it was lovely. And then she excelled at school, not only academically, but socially too. I've always seen her treat friends of hers, and many of them are here today, with respect, which has been reciprocated. She followed at school a full range of GCSE courses, and I never forget when she picked design technology and followed that course and won the school prize for your cabinet that you did. At AS level, not only did she pick STEM subjects, but English too, which I'm convinced has helped her since. She is confident, and communicates well with anybody, I find, and with ease. And I think these 3 C's, which I've just mentioned, are so important in life. Indeed, the world of work. If you've got those 3 qualities, you're going to get on. I really believe that. Transferring schools to follow A-levels, long-term friendships were flourished. And we know that some of those people here today, we've got Abby, Mel, Jess and Sponge. I never know what her proper name is. And Leah, I haven't missed you out either, because you date back to those early days at Queen Elizabeth School. So that's very long, and I saw it was anyway. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to. Now that says I'm 3 minutes 42 seconds in. So apologies if I've gone on a bit longer than that. Now I really think that friends are really important to each and every one of us. They are chosen. Here's a quotation for you, if I can see it. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. Sounds good, doesn't it? Okay. Then at 18, that big moment comes when you know that they take that trip to uni, never to return home on a permanent basis. Early days in Richardson Street, in Swansea. You remember Richardson Street in Swansea? There was a bike in the hallway there, broken old bike, and one day Amy quite sincerely said, "Dad, can you remove that bike? I think it had been picked up the bike had been picked up on a night of festivities." So the following morning, whilst it was still getting light, Dad creeped out 200 yards down the street with a broken old bike so that she couldn't be blamed for it. So that's good. It's now it's blah 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 blah. Yeah. Oh, then year 2, sharing a house with people in Swansea, and I remember going into this house with this dingy kitchen, and I saw one of her friends sitting on this work surface. It's Jess, isn't it? Have I got your name right? Woo! There's Jess, and she's got this cold can of Tesco's pea and ham soup. And in looking as if she enjoyed it. Now, I've spoken to Jess as I went round, and she's very disappointed with the first call. She was hoping for Tesco's pea and ham soup. Sorry, Jess, but there you go. So that's that bit. Then, and then, of course, while she was at uni, she met a boyfriend. And, you know, she still sees that same boyfriend today. Yeah, it's you, so no worries. Right? Okay. As a dad, it's only natural to worry about your daughter's happiness and well-being. It's been crystal clear for ages that Graham has a deep respect and admiration, deep respect and admiration of my daughter's individuality and ambitions. He has been Amy's greatest supporter, encouraging her to pursue passions. I am grateful for the profound love and unwavering commitment you show to her. Graham, you bring the best out of my daughter. You really do. No doubt about it. It's through his patient support that I believe she achieved her masters with honours. On telling her news to her godfather, she told him it was just by 1 mark. That's right, isn't it? Or was it a couple?
Exactly 70%.
Yeah, she's got exactly the right mark. This friend of mine, who's no longer with us, basically was very brief with words, and he just said, "A goal's a goal," you know. And indeed, again, at uni she won the faculty's prize for the most improved student. You could add to that why, but hey, and also this young lady, she's got a great memory. Yeah, unfortunately. A story that I had with mates this long is about a canoeing trip that we took down the Ardèche once in France, and it was a canoeing trip, and Amy and I were in one canoe, and I decided to take a shortcut down some rapids. The boat capsized, and for about 45 seconds, Amy was stuck under the boat. Worry, 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 worry. Now, I didn't think she'd really feel that she had to make some kind of, what's the word? Not revenge for treating her like revenge. I thought my daughter was about that better than that. She's not going to go want to have revenge on her dad. But a few years later, we went on holiday skiing in Vermont. And we learnt to ski together. You did it a lot quicker than I did. And when we're in Vermont, we're going down a slope, and I've got complete trust in my daughter, of course. And it's, "Come on, Dad, we can go off-piste here. There's a nice little run through the trees." And I'm going up and down the branches, and this big tree faced me. And I thought then I was going to meet up with this tree and give it a big hug. But that didn't happen. I escaped that time. A few years later, still not forgetting the Ardèche canoe trip, we go skiing again. And this time, at the end of a long skiing day in Abruzzo in Italy, it's getting the last run of the day. "Come on, Dad, we can go down this run." And I thought, yeah, that's okay, that looks good. About 50 yards down this run, it's all the banners. It's a competition run, and I'm only, a blue run skier, and so I did manage to survive that one too. And that's right, and there, a few here, I've done that bit right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, now I'm going to go on to Graham. I'm going to now talk about Graham and some of our shared interests that we have. I've grown to find Graham, and I have many things in common. Graham, could you take that package underneath your chair now and just show people those items which we have in common? You can take them out one by one, it doesn't matter the order. That's Fentimans ginger beer, Twiglets, pork pie, and horseradish. I bought that pack just in case the food wasn't very good and you had something to eat, but obviously you can eat it now. There's nothing wrong with it. Well, use it on your pork pie, yes, that's fine. So basically, I tried then, I have tried to get him to enjoy one of my interests in life, and that is I love football. And after a while, Graham condescended, I think condescended is the right word, to come and watch a game of football, and by a team that plays by the River Thames. And basically we got there and I filled him in about, squad formations, the strength of the opposition, who to look out for, blah, blah, blah. Graham seemed to be taking this all in. But at the same time, his attention was focused on this new stand which was built on the other side of where we were sitting. And he said to me, "How on earth do they get those large sections of roof to the ground, Pete?" And I said, "Well, that's quite easy, really." I said, "They've floated them on barges down the Thames, and they've had to watch the tidal heights of under the bridges. And and I think this is a useless piece of information. The next bit is Westminster Bridge has the lowest headroom at high tide." So basically, having tried to get him interested in football, I gave up. I didn't even bother to say, "Look, Graham, if you want to, you can come to the home of cricket and watch cricket at Lord's." Fat chance. But Graham, I am able to get you a ticket for a Fulham match next Saturday if you want one. Okay, I'm now on the last page, right? And so, blah, blah, blah. Right, I've got through that bit. Excellent. Yeah. Right, they say during a speech, you should give advice, should be given. I've found throughout life that the best advice I've ever been given is by people when you talk to them. And I think you people in this audience have given, congregation, whatever you want to call it, have given a lot of advice to these people without them realising it. I have an uncle who was very good at that, and a cousin and cousins who are not too bad at doing that either. Right, and then we say, I've now thanked Graham's parents. Because, it's those formative years when you're bringing up a child, which they have instilled in them those positive qualities that make them the people they are today. Right, with the exception of me and my... so thank you very much, Ian, and thank you very much, Lily. And I'm nearly there, so I don't know if I've run over my 9 minutes, 26 seconds. But I'm nearly there, and I'd like to say to you all, thanks for listening to me so patiently throughout and so attentively. I'm a little bit worried that some of you seem to have enjoyed this speech, but there you are. So basically, thanks again, and here comes the end, the toast. So you can get up and wiggle your legs and grab your glass. At this stage, please do so. And I'd just like to say, Amy, we know that Graham will love and cherish you every day as we do, your mum and I. And your brother. The toast quite simply is joy and happiness to you both. Joy and happiness to you both, Graham and Amy. Cheers. Thank you again.
Well done, Peter. Well done, Pete.
Well, that's the prize. Someone's got to guess what. I didn't get too emotional, did I? A bit croaky at times.
Who's up next? You're next. I don't know, apparently we have to guess.
You could do it with you.
Oh, yeah.
Should I do it?
Yeah, great. I just got to hold it.
Underneath the thing, yeah? Thanks, Peter. That was really funny. That was a really funny speech. Thank you very much. And it's a hard act to follow. But yeah, I'm the best man. And it was a real privilege when Gray asked me to be his best man. And, people asked me already today, if I'd find it quite nervous coming up here to speak. But I'll be honest, I've known these two since they got together. And standing here and speaking about their relationship's easy, Every year we've seen them on New Year's Eve. And we continue to do that as a bit of a mini tradition. And that's been really good. And I've known Gray, he's one of my longest friends since university. So, yeah, it's easy to come and speak here and talk about their relationship. So I've got some words. I'm going to read a little bit. But I'm going to improvise as well alongside that. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, thank you all for gathering here today to celebrate the love of Amy and Gray. It's an honour to stand before you as the best man and share a few words about this incredible couple. First and foremost, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer beauty and radiance that Amy brings to the day. You look beautiful, and it's clear that Gray is the luckiest man in the world. Yep. So I've had the privilege of knowing Gray for around 15 years now. And I can honestly say that he is one of the most genuine and kind-hearted people that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. Gray actually as well was my best man at my wedding. Yeah, but I didn't let him do a speech at mine. So I could use this opportunity to bring up loads of awful stories, and he's got no opportunity to get back at me. But, yeah. But we've shared countless memories together, from nights out on the pull in Sin City to the 4 a.m. curry as we inevitably walk home alone. Every time. We had some really good advice from the man in the curry place. Really, always good advice from him. Yeah. Our hair isn't as long anymore, and we can't kid ourselves that we can dance anymore, as you will all find out later. But one thing has remained consistent: Gray's unwavering loyalty and dedication to those that he loves. And then along came Amy. Actually, one of my earliest memories of Amy is in Sin City, that exact club. And I remember talking to Gray, and suddenly this young woman comes running over, full of energy, and then darted off again. And I think that kind of sums up, really, the way their relationship works. From the moment Gray met Amy, it was clear that he had found his other half, his partner in crime, and his soulmate. Amy, you bring out the best in Gray. You complement each other perfectly. Actually, as I was talking to your sister about this earlier, we were talking about how both of you are very different, very different qualities. But together, you do complement each other. You bring out the best in Gray, Amy, and you complement each other perfectly. It's not uncommon on a night out to see Amy singing Happy New Year by ABBA, whilst Gray is asleep in the corner. Amy is a free spirit, we all know. But Gray is often chasing us around the house with his small vacuum cleaner, cleaning up the crumbs. Or his leaf blower. The leaf blower is really a big thing right now. Oh, also a new one is the steamer that he brought to the wedding to make sure our suits were nice and crisp. And I say this, as a joke, but actually I'm a bit jealous. And I would actually quite like the vacuum thing. So, then that's why we're friends. And Amy's always, full of energy, ready for a night out, whatever time we're going out. She's always up for it. A classic thing in university was Gray would get really stressed out if we went out later than 10 o'clock. He'd get really... And so the joke was we'd have to try and go out as late as possible so we'd get even more wound up, so we go out at 1 a.m. And he said it was because all the hot girls leave at 10. So we needed to get out there quick. Maybe that's why we never pulled. So yeah, you wouldn't think that this very different way approach that it work, but it works together and they complement each other. Separately, it would be utter chaos, but together they're perfectly in balance. They complement each other in the most wonderful ways, lifting each other up and supporting one another's dreams. It's a joy to witness the love that these two have for each other, a love that is patient, kind, and unwavering. So let us raise our glasses to Amy and Gray. I'm going to give a toast. May your journey together be filled with laughter, joy, and countless adventures. May you continue to cherish each other's quirks and find strength in your shared values. And may your love shine as an inspiration to all of us lucky enough to witness it. Cheers. Thank you.
You got a microphone?
Okay. Hello, everybody. For those of you that don't know, I'm Ben, and I'm the second best man. I have to admit, I was a little taken aback when Graham asked me to do this. I did say to Graham, Gray, I'm a 34-year-old, divorced, single dad. Do you really want me talking about marriage at your wedding? At which point, Graham's response, and those who know Graham will know this response very well, completely stoic, that's why you're the second best man. Thanks, Graham. So obviously that put me at a disadvantage. And I was racking my brains about how I was going to write a speech. And then Graham told me, it's okay, Greg's best man, so you don't have to worry. Great. Thursday afternoon, he texts me saying, Greg's not coming anymore. Can you step in? So I wrote something. Now, I had the advantage that I went through chemical engineering with both Graham and Amy at Swansea. So I know both sides of this relationship very well. Even still, I struggled to write anything. So I did what all good engineers these days are doing. I turned to AI. I said, ChatGPT, write me a wedding speech. And it was terrible. So I put in a bunch of information about Graham and Amy, as much as I could muster. Their likes, their dislikes, the bank details. No, not that one. And they still gave me a terrible speech. So I thought I would write a set of rules for Graham and Amy for their marriage. And I'll give you a few of them tonight. Rule number 1. It is forbidden to hide the last piece of chocolate. A successful marriage requires equal distribution of delicious treats. You can pull that face, Amy. We all know exactly who we're talking about here. Rule number 2. A daily dance party is mandatory. Failure to participate will result in a spontaneous interpretive dance performance during serious conversations. He's smiling, but I could see him dying inside slightly. Rule number 3. One designated day each month will be reserved for wearing the weirdest outfits possible. That's basically Graham's wardrobe. Rule number 4. Whenever someone says something embarrassing in public, the other must provide a standing ovation to ensure that no embarrassing moment goes undervalued.
I'm going to applaud a lot then.
What I'm trying to say is marriage is like chemical engineering. just wait, I'm getting to it. It's very, very clear, the chemistry between these two. Very clear. But there's always an element of engineering. And I've never known two people to have such a strong relationship and be able to talk to each other in the way that you two do. And that's the engineering, that's the glue that keeps it all together. So I'll say this to Graham and Amy.
Graham and Amy.
It's my turn, isn't it? Yep. So, ladies, gentlemen, dear family and friends, thanks for all for coming. This has been, you could say this wedding's been in the plan for many years now. So, but we haven't, it was only recently we got engaged. We got engaged 2 months ago. But I always knew Amy would be the one for me. So let me, first things first, let me confess, I'd rather be on the backstage rather than on the front stage giving you this speech. Because when I was at Bilton Abbey in the chapel, they did try and force you to speak in front of people. And speaking of practice, I'd admit at Chris and Claire's wedding, I was best man with Mike and Vinny, and I did spend a good chunk of their reception, missing their reception, sat in the bar, rewriting my speech on napkins with the barman.
Did a great job.
Thank you. Shifting our focus from napkins to something more substantial. How did everyone find the DIY cut ham? Yeah. Thank you. No worries, certainly the attempts of that was much tastier than the speech. Before we move more on to ham topics, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude. Firstly, a big shout out to my best man, Greg, my first groomsman, Ben, thank you, and my groomsmen who are my sanity savers. So you boys are keeping me calm, treating me with some lip-smacking barbecues. So thank you, guys. To the maid of honour, Laura, and the bridesmaids, you've stood by Amy as unshakable pillars of strength and unwavering support. Each one of you represents a significant chapter in Amy's story, and are all vastly unique, all different. But then you're all similar in that you're exceptionally caring people and cheeky, while absolutely looking stunning. So, to you girls. To our parents-in-laws, your unwavering support has been our rock. You've been our steady lighthouse through a stormy seas, and you've always been there, always when needed. And also thank you to my mum and dad for being there, or always at a moment's notice, at any text saying help or any advice, you're immediately there. So thank you both. Now, today didn't exactly unfold as planned last month. Our original plan was to have a quiet registry on Wednesday, just to ease into things. But thank you to all our family, to James, to everybody who helped. And we pulled off the ceremony today, so thank you. Again, and thank you to my cousins, Auntie Jill for the flowers. Thank you for James for letting us use your beautiful venue. It was been extremely generous of you. When Amy walked down the aisle today, she left me breathless. Whether it's her radiant smile or I was holding my breath and saying vegetable names. You're more beautiful than I can count, and well out my league. A comment from the audience struck me today. Both you light up the room with your love babble, and the hand's not half bad either. Speaking of love and strength, let's talk a bit more about Amy. She's not just the love of my life, she's the strongest person I've met. Her loyalty, her dedication is boundless. And if anyone can turn determination to a superpower, it's her. During university, as Peter said, she's earned her first class degree in chemical engineering and got her award as most improved student. She's transitioned to mega oil and gas projects. She's orchestrated London railway station refurbishments, and now she's got her role with BP and a global role, rolling out their solutions. Amy tackles every challenge head on. Our journey started in the clang of clay pigeon shooting in the Chemical Engineering Society. And I think Amy's shot in clay pigeons probably worse than Chris's. Her intrigue caught me off guard. Our encounters were brief throughout the year. So this was what Greg was saying. She would zoom in, say hello, and then run off again. But during this student nightclub escapade, we finally sat down and had a chat. And then Amy declared her love to me. Then the rest is history. And we've been with Amy, and I have been together since. Together, we've taken on some major projects ourselves, fully renovating 2 houses, building our own nest. Thank you, Amy. I don't know who else could plaster a wall. There was a lot of sanding afterwards as well. A fun tidbit about Amy. She's got an affinity for teddy bears. Specifically, one's called Archie that keeps her company as she sleeps. It's really charming, isn't it? In closing, let me share a quote that perfectly encapsulates my feeling for Amy. Love is not about gazing at each other, but looking together in the same direction. Amy, I promise to always walk the path with you. So, dear guests, let us raise our glasses to my stunning wife, Amy. Oh, and something unconventional.
Something unconventional. Hello. Ooh. So many of you know I do like to talk. So I thought I'd say a few words. I don't think mine will be the full 9 minutes though, so don't worry. I'm not sure we've done many thank yous. We've done a few. So I want to thank everyone today for making it happen at such short notice. I know people have flown in, with a few weeks. Basically, I told them of the date, I think, before I said we were getting married to some people. So thank you all for that. I know me and Graham have only been planning this wedding really for 2 months, but I think Jill and Ian, ever since James got Abbots Court, I think they've been planning it a little bit longer than us. So I hope this has lived up to your expectations. A massive thank you to James and everyone at Abbots Court for making this happen. It means a lot to us. Thank you for everyone for flying in. So Paul, Chris, Abby, Tatiana. I think I've missed someone. Ian, he's come from Coron in the Philippines. So thank you all for that. I know that was a probably unplanned holiday. Big thank you to Laura and to Greg. They both managed to pull off a hen do and a stag do with about 2 weeks' notice. And managed to get everyone there. So and thank you to all the bridesmaids and groomsmen for a good couple of weekends. Another thank you to my mum and dad, Ian and Lily. I think you've raised two great humans, even if I am a bit biased. Thank you for that. And now, as I think my dad mentioned, I do have an A-level in English that goes alongside my STEM subjects. So I'm going to put that to good use, and I've written a poem. So here we go. This is for Graham. Some of this you will have heard before as well. But, we met at Kemenge clay pigeon shooting. Graham, a keen shot on the clays. Me, a keen shot on, the shots. You played it cool, and I freaked out. 12 years later, I think we figured this out. We've come a long way since the sweaty ceilings of Sin City, capes made of hoodies, and jazz hands that made me giddy. 2 houses, a lot of DIY, 4 guinea pigs, and Molly the dog. If only we could stop her jumping in the bogs. I know when I'm with you, I'm never alone, because to me you're my best friend, and to me you are home. So that's me done. So if we all make a toast, 1 for my new husband, Graham, and another one for everyone else for being here. Thank you. Cheers. Oh, we've got,
A surprise.
Surprise! Oh,
I'm going to interrupt. How'd you turn this on?
You don't turn up. It's fine.
I'm going to interrupt this
Hand below there.
new dance thing that they were going to do, just because I just wanted to say two very short things. Firstly, many men, when they grow older, they have dreams in their world. You know, some dream for their dream car, which is some flash Ferrari or whatever. Other dream for a big flash house with views across the mountains. For me, my dream has just come true because I have the dream daughter-in-law now. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. That's it. The other thing was a big thank you to my nephew James and Tash for and Wills for putting this on for us. Thanks, you guys. You know, this is the best anybody can ever wish for. Thank you. And now, back to the loving couple, my son Graham and my son Amy. my daughter Amy. Now you can play the music.